Hello, everyone. I wanted to welcome you to our CLM training course. And I thought a good way for us to begin was to give you a little tutorial regarding how to use Blackboard. Our format will be using the Blackboard application through West Virginia Wesleyan College. And I just really wanted to walk you through that. Now, of course, you'll need to register for this course through the district office. We reach out to Wesleyan and then we're able to input your information and then you're added to the class. Essentially, the format that we've been using is for your username. It will be set up so that all lowercase, so that your last name followed by a period, and then your first name, at the names you use as you register. The last name, period, first name, that'll be your username. And then your password will be certified, the word certified, your first name with the first letter being capitalized, followed by 2021. And so those will be distributed to you with the name that you've registered for, and then you'll be able to get into the course. But once you do that, and then after that's taken care of, then I really wanted to walk you through how you would use Blackboard to deal with our material over the next several months. Now, recognize that there are two components. There is essentially, you have the monthly incubators, the leadership gatherings. Those will be happening in person. So that really doesn't deal with Blackboard at all. And then, of course, then you have the online self-paced content. That's where Blackboard will come in play. So once you're in, I'm going to go ahead and sign it. Well, you want to get the URL you're going to use is https://blackboard.wvwc.edu. Again, that information will be sent to you as well upon your registration, but that's where you'll begin. Once you get there, it'll bring you to this, the sign-in page, and you'll enter your credentials, and then you'll simply sign in. It's going to, at that point, takes a moment to load. At that point, it's going to load essentially what is the home page for the course. And as soon as that comes up, you'll get a chance to see that. Now, you'll see there'll be sort of general information that will pop up. In this case, it talks about how the day that I happen to be doing this, part of this is under construction. But what you're going to want to do is go to the left-hand side of the page, and you should see your name, which means that you have been signed in. If you don't, then you should, because you've already signed in using your credentials. What you want to do is the third tab down is going to be courses. You click on courses, it automatically will load this course because that's the only one that you have, Certified Lay Minister Training. You'll come here and simply highlight it as you see it underlined here and click it, and that will take you right into the course. Okay. Now, once that happens, then the course page should load for you. So here it is. And this is what you're going to want to do. It's going to let you know, for example, you'll see here on the right, Blackboard's very user-friendly. It's going to let you see here on the right-hand side, things like what's due, because the due dates are set up for all the assignment. It's going to let you know that, and like today, tomorrow, this week, and in the future, it'll list those things for you. Nothing's listed here now because the course hasn't begun yet. But once those start to kick in and this course is opened up, then that'll start to populate information. Should I need to send out any announcements, I can do that through this, and it'll populate and tell you when I send out an announcement to you, it will come up so you can see it. And there's a place for you to have tasks, which is just an extension of what we looked at the right-hand side. What's important, however, is this little set of banners here in this left-hand side of the page. That's where you're going to be living going through this course. So set things up so that in the home page, and I'm going to start clicking on some of this so you can see what's there. The home page is the page you're looking at now. So if you click on it, it just takes you right back there. The first tab that might be important to you is the CLM manual and the guidelines documents, so that handles each of the modules that we'll be looking at. So you click on this, and it opens up, and then you see you can just simply open up here. You can get it either way, but the best way is to click this blue highlighted area that shows you the guidelines for the Certified Lay Ministry Academy. And as that pops up, you'll be able, it'll allow you to open it up with a Word document, which is what it is. We're not going to do that, but you can see, so the manual and the syllabus is contained here, so you can refer back to it. But I've also built it into the course content, so you'll see it in another place. The next tab you see is the required reading list. Now this takes you through all 4 modules as well as the incubator. I believe I double checked, I think I listed the incubator as well. Yes, so the 2 textbooks for the incubator are listed here at the bottom. The text that you're going to be using throughout the modules, they're broken down into each module, so you'll know which book and the year they're published, because sometimes there's more than one edition. These will be the ones we're using. You'll be able to see which textbooks you need when. Now, each module is going to last roughly 2 months. Well, in fact, actually 2 months. So that's how much time you know ahead of time you'll need to order some of these books. You can get them through Amazon, Cokesbury, some of them. There are a lot of places that you can get these books. Wherever you tend to buy books, that's a good place for you to try to catch those. So all of the required reading for the entire 4 modules unit is listed here. Now, where we're really getting into some things, I'm going to get to these in a moment. Here's learning module 1, so that corresponds to this one. Every module has 4 parts that are 2 weeks each. So there's learning module 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll get to those in a moment, but I want to go down below them and orient you toward some of these other tabs, because this is where a lot of your assignments will be dealt with. So here under the assignments or online content tab, as you open it up, it's going to actually show you what assignments are due as they match the module and part in the particular week the assignment is due. So essentially what you're going to do is once you open that up, and you can follow that through the learning modules, it'll tell you to go to these tabs and enter that particular assignment for that particular week. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on, let's say we open it up. Let's say you want to do the first assignment. Well, let's open it up. Okay, so it opens up the assignment tab. Now, what that allows you, I have 0 points possible for every assignment because none of these are graded. And I'll show you about the grade book in a little bit. So because that's where you're going to receive my feedback when you do turn in an assignment. Now, it so happens that with this first assignment, it's not something you need to upload. So there really isn't anything you're going to, and I note that there's nothing to upload for this assignment. This is placed here as a reminder, bring results to the first incubator section. So in this case, the assignment is going to be a carryover, and we'll deal with it at the incubator session that happens live. But typically, most weeks, there will be most 2-week periods. There's only an assignment every 2 weeks. Most 2-week periods, there is an assignment you'll need to upload. And all you simply do is you can either write it out, type it in directly, but given that they're mostly 2-page assignments, that's 2 double-spaced 12-point font pages, so it's not a great deal of writing, but that might be a little cumbersome to actually type that in. You'd simply save it as a Word document, come in here and browse your local files, select it and upload it. Because once you do that, it'll give you the option. Once you browse the local files and you call up a file, it'll give you the option to upload that. Now what that means is it'll go into my grade book, and I'll be able to read it and respond to you, and then you'll get feedback. And I'll show you where you get that in a little bit. So in this case, this one assignment, and there's 3 or 4 of them throughout that you do not have to upload to me. You have to bring them to Incubator, but the others you'll need to upload, and I will try to get back to them in a very timely fashion so that you can get feedback. But remember, there's no grades at all, so don't sweat that. So that's why everybody has a 0 point possibility. You had to enter some value for Blackboard, so that's how I do that. So that's the assignments section. This will contain, I'll go back to this so you can see the overview. This will contain the assignments for all 4 modules and all 4 parts for each module, or 16 parts all told. And so those will be listed here, as well as the due dates and those kind of things. Now, I have opened up the assignments so they're all available to you immediately when the class opens up. Sometimes I could have set them so that they only open when a little closer to time, but I didn't see a need to do that. So you can have access to all of them at once, but they all do have due dates so that can help you to stay on target and stay on path. So that's the assignments. The other piece that you're going to interact with on a regular basis is the discussion forum. So let's click that open so you can see what that looks like. Again, they're labeled for Module 1, Weeks 1 and 2. That's the first session. There's Module 1, Weeks 3 and 4, Module 1, Weeks 5 and 6, Module 1, Weeks 7 and 8. And every one of them, 1, 2, and 3 modules, they're going to work that way with those 2-week, 4-part sections. And so, for example, in this particular case, you have the discussion is listed. What you have to do with the discussion is watch the video lecture that I upload, and then I ask specific questions around your reflections on that particular video. All you're asked to do is by a certain date, in this case, once the course starts, or by a certain date, you're to post your initial response, which is 100 words, no fewer than 100 words. And then you have a few days, roughly a week later, by that time, no later than that time, you need to have responded to 2 of your colleagues. So all you simply do to do that is to click this. I'll show you how that works. It should let me open it up even though the class hasn't started yet. Okay, it does. And so you simply highlight and click Create Thread, and then you start typing your 100-word reflection. Then what happens is you will be able to, it'll show you when you go back into the discussion forum, it will show you people who've responded to you. It will allow you to respond to people who've also posted so that you're able to interact with them, and you'll be able to read that. And I'm going to try to go in and respond. I may not get everybody responded to because this year the class has gotten a little larger because we're using 2 sections, at least just this year. And so I may not get to everybody, but at any rate, I will try to go in and monitor that and try to participate as best I can. But that's how you would do that. And then you have the option to subscribe, which you're going to want to hit. Because when you subscribe to that, then it's going to notify you via email or even through Blackboard. It's going to notify you when somebody has posted something new. It's going to notify you when somebody has responded to something. So this is a pretty easy discussion interaction, and I think you'll find it pretty intuitive. I use Blackboard all the time at Fairmont State where I teach, and I don't find that students have a lot of difficulty in navigating that. Then the other thing that we have here is the Leadership Incubator syllabus, and that's just for your reference because there's nothing you have to post through Blackboard for the incubators, but it just gives you the syllabus to know when the dates of the incubators are happening, and of course that lists all of your assignments and everything else in the syllabus. Now let's scroll down just a little bit, and then I'll go back and show you at least the first module. They're all there. I've got the first module and the third module loaded because they're going to start first in this particular sequence. In the future, when we're just running one cohort, then we'll just simply start. Everybody will be in module 1 in the whole cohort. That's a little different because we're getting started. So some things that you might want to see. If you want to read my feedback, now that will come to you. You should get a notification to that effect through Blackboard, but you can also go to the Grade Center. And when you go to the Grade Center, you're going to be able to, now I'm not going to open this up because it opens my grade book that has everybody in it, but it would give you, it will give you the option of going in and seeing the feedback that I've given you on each of your assignments. So that's where you would find that in this particular application. So just by way of example, let's look at Learning Module 1. And then really we're finished today. Just wanted to give you a brief overview. As we look at Learning Module 1, I'm opening that up now. What I've done, and all of the modules follow the same format, I've put the overview of the whole module as the very first thing that I've placed here. So it'll show you what the learner outcomes are, what the purpose for the module is. It'll show you the required text, and it'll give you a brief overview of the 4 different parts we're going to be looking at. Part 1, discovering your spiritual gifts. 2, discerning God's unique call for your life. 3, spiritual patterns and disciplines. 4, developing healthy systems. Okay, now I also then put the module syllabus here. So this just, and I'll open it up, this just looks at Module 1 syllabus as an overview and shows you, and you can open it with Word. I'm going to do that here. And it's just going to show you that text. I mean, it's just a Word document, and you can see it here. It has the whole thing, so we'll get out of that. But then the next one, and this is how you're going to work through. So Module 1, Part 1, Weeks 1 and 2. Okay, so this is the very first week we get started off, and all of that is, it's the early part of September, and in the syllabus it lays out what all of those dates are. So you really have the first 2 weeks essentially of September as we get started. If you're in module 1, you have those first couple of weeks to get started. And so let's see here, we have, let's see. If you open it, well, you won't have to open up. You should be able to see everything. It'll show the course content, which is the video link to the lecture for that particular subject, which is Biblical and Psychological Insights, Understanding Spiritual Gifts. And so you can go to this YouTube link and open it up, and you should be able to see the lecture. Then each module has an assignment checklist. So what we do then is we look at what's going to be due in that particular 2-week period. So here's your discussion forum, and I remind people, in case you forget, go to the discussion forum tab, select the link for module 1, weeks 1 and 2. And once you do that, then you can respond to this question, which is in no fewer than 100 words. Post your reflection on the lecture, Understanding Spiritual Gifts. You might reflect on some, and this is mostly the format we follow each time. You might reflect upon some point of agreement, a point of disagreement, questions that emerge for you, insight you've gained, things like that. Just really whatever stirs up for you by way of reflection in hearing that particular lecture. Again, it's 100 words in the discussion forum. The reading assignment is here, and then the class assignment. In this case, this is, remember, one you don't have to upload. You're going to do an online spiritual gifts inventory at this particular link through the Board of Discipleship. It's an 80-question inventory, and then you're going to talk about that at the first incubator. Now, as we go to Module 1, Part 2, which is the next 2-week period, I want you, everything's the same. The discussion forum's there, you're reading, but notice the assignment. I tell you, because this is one you do have to upload, post to assignments online content tab under the appropriate module, part, and week. And so it's a 2-page, that means 12-point font, double-spaced reflection addressing this question. And the questions differ from part to part. What is the next step you can take to find your place in God's continuing work of transformation in our world? So you would reflect upon that, and you would upload it, and then I would get back to you. So you can see that here for all of these modules. For Module 1, they're all listed here, and that's how you would work your way through them. So they're listed here, but to actually upload, you go to the Assignments tab, or you go to the Discussion Forum, and that's how you enter the data for that particular. So hopefully that that helps you. All of these, I don't think, as of the time I'm recording these, all of these are quite populated yet. But for example, same thing you'll find with Learning Module 2. I'll just open it up so you can see it here. Oh, here it is. Learning Module 2, same format, you'll notice. And these will be populated by the time the course starts, the same kind of information there. And then some of you in this first year will also start learning Module 3 in the beginning. So because you did 1 and 2 already, until we integrate everything the following year when there's just one cohort. And so all of that has started to be populated, and you'll begin to see it here. So there'll be some differences. Again, all the dates and so forth are there for you, but at any rate, this will kind of help you to work your way through Blackboard and to be able to kind of find your way around. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, drmichaelrichards@yahoo.com. I'll be happy to help if I can do that. But otherwise, I thank you for taking some time to be with me today. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. But thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you found this tutorial helpful.